Hey guys, Steve, KO4AFL, and I'm here with Ryan from Armoloq, and we're going to go over what he's got coming up. So let's talk with Ryan and see what's going on with Armoloq. Go. Ryan, how we doing?
Oh, hey, well, we got a new product that we're launching here in Orlando, but there's good news, bad news about it, and it spurred from Huntsville, especially from you, like guys like yourselves asking for the cage for the FTDX10. That was the most requested radio there, and the good news is we now have it. The bad news is the manufacturing's kind of drug the feet on it, and here we don't have it to sell at Orlando, but we're doing for customers, if they buy the cage from us here in Orlando, I'm going to knock some off the price and I'm going to ship it for free. But once Orlando's done, they'll go live on the website at the existing price. But that's a real neat new one, so we're really liking that one.
All right. Anything new coming other than the cage for the DX10?
Yeah, we've got several on the hook in development. And some of them, well, we don't like to really put out what we're working on until we get them out because we don't want to get everybody's hopes up. Because sometimes, honestly, the design takes quite a while. Like, you wouldn't believe how long it took to do the 705. It's just an odd form factor when compared to other radios. Mm-hmm. So it took quite a bit of trial and error to get it right.
Okay. Let's go over the line, what you've got here. We'll start with the 705.
Okay. Well, this is one of my favorite builds, and I really like this setup here, and it goes back to the roots of what the product was, which was to have it in your backpack. So this particular setup is got the battery with it. It's hinged, so it can be upright in your backpack, and then if you decide that you're going to get out a park bench or a tree stump and work, you can flop it up. And then it's got that hinge that stays in place, so you don't have to prop the radio up with a bag of chips or a pine cone or a dead squirrel. That's my second favorite build. It was until I did this one. And this was another one that was spurred from the Huntsville Hamfest. Guys would say, well, I love the cage, I love the product, but I already spent a boatload of money on the Icom specific bag, and that won't fit. So challenge accepted. And this setup is exactly like this, in the bag, but now all the trinkets and all your goodies and your cookies and juice boxes now go in the top flap, and the radio fits down in the main compartment where all that other stuff is, including the tuner. In fact, there was so much room in there when I put this together, I had to go out to the shack and find all kinds of extra stuff to jam in there. Like, who doesn't need to carry a dummy load in the woods, right? So this has actually been probably my favorite build, was this one right here.
Okay. And moving down the line, that's the 7300.
The 7300, and that started the large builds. We never thought guys would want to ruggedize the large radios, and well, the 7300 being probably the most popular radio ever made, we made it, and people love it. And something we're finding is our customers, if they ruggedize these radios, these bigger, more powerful, easier to use radios, they're much more likely to take it out on POTA, SOTA, field day, or just camping. And in fact, this radio was at Winter Field Day last weekend, and that radio, we drag it back and forth every day to the camper, and it runs around in the camper just like that.
Okay. And of course, you already talked about the DX10 there.
Yeah, DX10.
The 710.
710.
The 991.
The 991. Now that's got a fun story. This radio came to me from a friend, and he's a big POTA operator, and the multifunction knob was broke off. And on this particular radio, without the multifunction knob, you're pretty much dead in the water. So the knob wasn't expensive from Yaesu. The repair was a pain because you got to get the control head off, get the board out, all those little tiny ribbon cables in there, and then be brave enough to put a soldering iron to the circuit board. Got it fixed, but the cage for the large radios retail for $195. At that point, when I'm soldering on that circuit board, that $195 sounded pretty good.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Plus, how much is a broken knob in the field worth to you guys?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And of course, the 891, the tried and true, which is what I run myself.
Yep, and this particular one is paired up with the FC50, the auto tuner that was made for this radio, and that's a great setup. I actually really like that setup. One of my favorite mod on this radio is relocating the microphone mount, so you don't have to take the control head off to do it. So that would just loop right around and plug in behind the control head.
And now you're going to spend even more of my money. I didn't realize you had that. Now I need that.
Well, on my radio, well, this is my radio. I used to have just a pigtail hanging out the side.
That's what I do, because I switch between headset and
Yep.
microphone.
And now you got it where it's bolted onto the side. So great option.
Is there any options or thoughts, like with the 705, to put in maybe a battery so it's all part of one unit that you can pull in and out of a pack?
Yeah, that's how this one is set up, actually.
Not 705, but the
Oh,
the
yeah.
891.
The 891.
891 is a very popular, if you want a 100 watts backpack, that's a very popular radio for
Yes, you could do that, and we have the product for that, and it's similar. And I'll show the 817 here, but it's the same idea. But this is a product we make that's specific for a 10 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, and it comes with brackets to mount, and mounts like that. And the only reason this doesn't have a box on it is I wanted to show people what the size battery was, because it's a very common battery frame. But it mounts on the back of the radio with some brackets.
Okay.
And those brackets are also, they're going to be specific for that radio frame. So if you're going to try that mounting system, in fact, I used to have one mounted on this setup, but I took it off so I could share it with those other radios.
Share power.
Yeah. But that's that, and we have these on the website, and this is a really high quality product. It's molded Kydex, so it's super strong.
Okay.
Do you know what the size is? What do they call it?
I was going to say, that's for the Dakota Lithium battery, right?
Well, it's Dakota Lithium because that's what I have. We
Right.
don't have an affiliation with Dakota Lithium, but I've been a fan of their batteries. But there's other companies that make that size. It's a 10 amp hour battery.
But it's a standard size
It is.
footprint. Not,
Yes,
not
sir.
the capacity per se, but the actual footprint
That's right.
itself is a
Yeah.
standard size.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, and then I guess moving along, some of this is some prototype work we're doing here, just playing with different configurations of radio components. And this is a fun story. This 817 was at Winter Field Day with us last weekend, and I wish my partner walked off, but he had LMR 400 hooked to that because we were trying to stand it up on its end, and dropped it off the picnic bench. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, and you can see that's all the damage that we got on it.
Wow.
And this radio is experienced broken radio. When we first got it, we bought it used. The VR unit, the volume knob was busted off, and fixing that is pretty tight in there. But this took 3 crashes off the picnic bench. Well, 2 crashes off the picnic bench and 1 into the grass, and saved the radio. So that's a real life on our end experience.
Okay.
So Shane, that product is specifically for you.
Yep. This side of the radio would always be the right side up, but yeah. So Ryan, why the switch to TNC over BNC?
For us, in a more rugged application, we have found that the TNC is just a stronger connection. As far as RF goes, I don't think there's any difference really, but the actual physical connection to the radio is stronger, and we know a lot of people still like to run BNC, so with all of our RF relocation packages, we include the adapter if you like to use the adapter. I wasn't on board with the TNC change, but since we've changed, I agree with the change. I think it's a solid upgrade.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Well, anything else you want to share with us?
Keep an eye on the website for new stuff. We're always working on new products, and most of our products come from feedback from our customers. Our customers and you guys that are out, doing this stuff daily, and we appreciate. So keep that feedback coming in.
Will do.
How would they find you on the web?
Armoloq.com. Just search Armoloq, and you pop up to the website.
All right, Ryan. Thanks for your time. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.